everyone, this is Justin Pate from the Wrap Institute, and welcome to round number 8 of the Never Stop Learning online wrap contest. I love this wrap contest because basically what you're going to get is a mini workshop, and you'll see an object wrapped live real time with commentary. And what's cool is if you guess how long it takes to wrap that object, you win a super cool prize. And this round is sponsored by TechWrap. They make a lot of great color change film and PPF, and you have a chance to win a roll of their new olive green gloss metallic film worth around $650, and they'll ship it right to your door, whether it's your house or your wrap shop. Super cool stuff. So I don't know if you can guess, but the object that's going to be wrapped in this round is a helmet. Super cool. And so I love wrapping helmets because you can customize it, because this is just a plain Jane white helmet, and in just a matter of a few minutes you're going to see it transform, in this case with gloss black on the side and a chrome stripe in the middle. And the people who are going to be doing the wrapping are Marcos and Reiner. Why don't you jump on in, fellas? So obviously with the Wrap Institute we always try to talk about doing everything in 3 stages: prep, install, and post. And the prep obviously was cleaning in this case, and obviously putting masking tape down the middle to find the center point, and then some knifeless tape on the sides to do the cutting. So once the prep is done, now you guys have your tools ready, you got your squeegees. Reiner's prepped the material, and we did a really cool cutout for the little rivets at the front. And with that, I think the prep is done. You got everything set, heat guns, good workspace temperature. And what's nice about, when you want to wrap a helmet, always want to secure it so it doesn't move. Kind of the same thing with mirrors and door handles. So in this case, I'm going to be the dummy holding the helmet, which is going to be awesome. I'm going to tighten it up a little bit right now. And with that being said, are you guys ready to rock and roll?
Yeah, you're ready with the time?
So I got the time, ready to rock and roll. So you're about to learn how to wrap a helmet, but you also might win that roll from TechWrap. Let's get to it, and bam, clock is ticking. Let's go, guys. So Reiner is one of the Wrap Institute trainers who were based in Munich and also in America. And Marcos is a great story. Marcos was my translator when I go down to Brazil and I teach workshops and do sign shows down there. So Marcos has actually become a very, very good installer. I think it's a good indication of what watching a lot of videos on the Wrap Institute can get you, and also lots of good hard work and practice. And his brother Jimas is actually a great trainer and installer as well. And this is pretty cool.
You feel good?
I feel great now. It's almost like a massage / haircut at the same time. I feel like I'm going to wrap it.
If you want to, you can see more. Okay. So it's pretty critical, but
that's
so perfect, yeah.
Very cool. Awesome. So the security there, and Reiner has a cool trick with the heat gun right now.
So yeah, I was thinking, so 1 is cool, 2 is hot, and that's even better. Put it together so we can heat it up really easily. So Flo, can you heat it up, our material? Really hot. So we want to have it really hot right now. Pick this up, use a spot here.
So what we're doing right now is with helmets too, because helmets are a big killer, is you want to heat a wide area. It's also nice to have an extra set of hands. And then here,
You feel good?
Cool. No, it's good. So
good again.
Stretch the material, and they're conforming it and reading the wrinkles, so everything kind of conforms right to the shape of the helmet. And again, having those 2 heat guns is really critical right now in terms of heating a wide area. You definitely want a wide area to heat, and then just kind of forming it on, which is super cool. And notice that they're obviously pulling with good tension, but once they get it on, what's nice about this adhesive with TechWrap, it has what's called airy-gust features, so they're not going to get bubbles when they squeegee, so they can basically what's called glass it out, get it wrinkle-free onto the helmet, and then they're basically just going to squeegee it on and cut everything out. So they're pulling it, reading the wrinkles, good teamwork. How's it going, guys?
Good.
Beautiful.
Do you feel good, or you feel comfortable?
As I said, I mean, it's almost like a nice massage. It's really, really cool.
It's really great to have our guy who is heating. So Flo, thank you for the support.
Yeah. And Flo is a great installer based in Germany, has a great company. So Flo really knows the material. And what Reiner's doing now is he's clicking his blade so it's extra sharp. And I think we're good to go.
We're good to go. Need to first set up the knifeless. Don't cut in your shoulder, hopefully. But you say you just only need to cry if it hurts, okay? If you want to cry.
So one thing we try to push on the Wrap Institute in all the videos that we teach, and we have over 2,000 videos that you can get a unlimited access to all the videos for as low as $8 a month, which is super cool. Is the idea is that really understand your material. We've made probably at this point, I would say about 10 product videos for Tech Wrap. So we basically have their product bulletin, we make it into video form, and you really have to know the material. Tech Wrap is a calendar film. And calendar film is a different style than, let's say, cast. There's two types of films on the market, cast and calendar. And calendar film has a different stretch than cast.
Yeah.
You really have
to hold his head. So he moves around and like cut around. Yeah.
Oh, so it's almost like when you go to the barber and the barber says, put your head down or be still when you do this thing. So basically, I don't want a bad haircut. I just don't want a bad wrap cut. So right now, Randa's wrap cutting my hair. Getting a nice, good, steady clean. So they use knifeless tape to cut the stripe in the middle, and right now Randa's using a very sharp blade just to trim off the excess film, and we teach a lot of that on the Wrap Institute. But getting back to the Tech Wrap and calendar film, it's just calendar film, you can definitely wrap curves with it. You just have to know the properties and approach it in a different style, and that's why Marcos and Reiner are doing such a good job, is they really understand the film, because actually helmets are actually one of the hardest things to wrap. I'd say the top 5 things to wrap in the industry, I would say, are helmets, door handles, mirrors, helmets, bumpers.
Everything was round.
Everything is round. I would say even trunks are kind of funky too. So inside is done. Looks pretty good. It's awesome, going so far. And so notice what they did too is they cut out the hole where the rivet goes ahead of time. And that was a really cool tool that's from Yellow Tools. So basically you cut out that you find the shape that you want. They mainly use it for the bumper sensors. Cut the shape ahead of time, so that means they don't have to stretch it over that raised object and then cut it, which means that you might either come up short or you might overstretch. So a good tip for that. So Marcos pulls the liner. Reiner's going to set it right over that rivet right now.
And I use my 2 hands to set it here, try to fix it. Somebody, so it's really funny if the object also moves. And with a little bit kiss of heat here, and I stretch it with triangles out here. Now this looks super smooth, and then we can pull even harder here. And we try it in this way that we really heat everything up and stretch it and form it around right now. You feel good, Justin? That looks so cool. It's even... Hello?
That was awesome.
Good, perfect. So, and we heat it up again here, because here comes wrinkles. You say if wrinkles on the outside, it's too less stretchy on the inside, so we need to stretch the inside of the helmet. And here we go out with shaped triangles. Good. It's pretty critical here, because we also have a raised object on the side.
So
not so funny.
And I can feel Reiner kind of pulling in the right directions, and we always try to say, read the wrinkles and use a little kiss of heat and spread the tension out. So it's all about reading the tension. But one of the things that I started saying on the Wrap Institute about a year and a half ago, is what I call yo-yo
a little
moments.
bit shorter.
So right now, the main installers are Marcos and Reiner, again, great installers. But right now, Flo is just adding an extra set of hands. Flo is just kind of hanging out, and basically Reiner said, yo-yo, can you help out for a second? So he basically takes that double heat gun, which is super cool. It's like a double shotgun of heat, and basically it allows them, to kind of warm the film more. And talking earlier about that calendar film, calendar film is generally a little thicker than cast film. So if this was a cast film, I would say they'd probably use 1 heat gun. But because it's a little thicker, having 2 heat guns really allows them to kind of stretch and warm the film nice and thorough, so they can work it on and just glass it on. So I feel them kind of hit those sweet spots at the end, really finishing everything off. And Reiner's going to give you a little light to see out of.
It's almost looked a little bit like Darth Vader. So that's a funny one.
Yeah. And I can honestly say this is the first time I've ever worn the helmet while it's been wrapped, and it's actually really quite relaxing. Same thing, but I don't know about you guys, when you guys get a haircut, it's always kind of like chilling out and someone's just kind of massaging your head and cutting your hair, and it's cool. I think I'm going to get, if you have more helmets to wrap, I'm definitely willing to volunteer.
Enjoy it.
Enjoy it. So again, one thing, and then coming back to, wrapping helmets and stuff like that, and one thing we always try to talk about in the Wrap Institute is knowing the limits of the material. And anyone can wrap something like, let's say, a fender or a helmet or a bumper, perfect for a day. It's all about having it hold for the long term, because you can heat and stretch the material, and people think it's like paint, but it's not. It's not liquid, it's a solid, so you have to know how far you can take the film before it starts to fail. Where it starts to fail is you see it lifting out of recessed areas or lifting on the edges and getting what's called fingers. So right now, what Marcos and Reiner are doing right now is really kind of finding the limits, and the helmets definitely push the material to its limits. So if you're a good professional installer, and you'll definitely become one if you get on the Wrap Institute and watch all those videos and practice, is getting to that point where you know the limits and you can wrap stuff like helmets, because again, you can customize a helmet in just a matter of a few minutes, which is really nice. So you got the knifeless tape set up, you got the masking tape getting that center point, and then what do you guys do? I can't even see what you guys are doing right now. Just trimming everything off?
Cutting, raising objects on the side that we can open later or close later the visor.
Okay.
And I cut it exactly on the line. So after that, it looks a little bit white, but it's also nice because it's a nice edge.
Yeah. It was, it's interesting with helmets too. Helmets, I've wrapped quite a few helmets in the day. I actually vacation in Thailand. My wife is half Thai, and we go there, and we actually, it's always fun. I always try to take the helmets that we get on the scooter, and I wrap them. And they're always tricky because a lot of the stuff on the helmet, those tricky bits, like where Reiner's working around, it's actually hard to take those off. Those are really kind of pretty much set on the helmet. So you really have to learn how to cut around them. And sometimes, especially if you're wrapping something that's white and trying to turn to black, that's always tricky. It's finding that balance between making good clean lines and finishing, which is cool. So I can see, speaking of finishing, I can see that they're kind of getting that nice relax on the edge right now. And squeezing everything down nice and clean. And one thing to think about too that's really popular, especially in America, is babies sometimes, have to wear helmets for a certain period of time. And a lot of people actually make good money wrapping those helmets. And a lot of people actually give those away as a kind of like a charity, which is really cool. So again, it protects the baby and you can kind of customize it. And that's one thing I love about wraps is customization, is that, if you can imagine it, you can wrap it, which is awesome. So I guess I'm assuming though, based on what you guys are doing, taking off the masking tape, that the black is done?
Not almost, you need to cut it on the outside.
Okay.
And put the masking tape off.
So you guys basically, so now you're kind of finishing the side, and you can see that helmets, because they're such a big curve, they are definitely involved. I think having two people, especially on something like this, helps. Obviously, if you want to make some money and profit. Otherwise, I would say definitely set aside a good solid half hour, 45 minutes to wrap something. And you might think, well, just a helmet's not that big, but it's not about size. It's about curves, and that's the same thing with recessed areas. Don't judge anything by its size. I think it's a good lesson in life anyway. So, trimming everything off. Do I need to move right now?
No, please no. This is when I say, okay, size around curves, but if the object also moves,
exactly,
that makes it different to cut the right, to cut a nice line around. But okay, so be safe. It looks even cooler.
So where are you putting this visor down, Reiner?
So we start then with the middle. We pull off the masking tape here, and then we clean again.
Okay.
And put some knifeless on the sides, that we have a super nice. So right now I sprayed here, okay? I love it.
In Wrap Institute, we always try to say, don't go to the next stage until everything's in the section that you're working on is complete. So right now, by taking the masking tape off, you might have a little adhesive residue left over. So Reiner's just taking the time to clean off any adhesive residue. And now he's actually switching. I got this right on my nose. He's actually switching. Switching knifeless tape. So the first brand that it is was called Design Line, and that string is made out of polyester, and that cuts the material without having to use your knife, which is super cool. And you always want to do that when you're cutting directly on the object. Now they're switching material, and I talked earlier about knowing your material, calendar, and all that stuff. And that the black gloss film is a new HD film from Tech Wrap. So it's around, I would say, 7 mil thick. It's multi-layered, but it's gloss, and it cuts nice and easy with Design Line. But right now they're putting on chrome. Chrome's a totally different animal, so no new material. Chrome is a multi-layered film, and it's around 11 mil thick, and it's made of different properties. So therefore, if you cut it with Design Line, it might not cut as clean. So they switched to Precision Line. And it's interesting with Precision Line, you always want to do what's called pre-tabbing. So what Reiner's doing right now is he's releasing the line from the Precision Line a little bit.
Okay. And
what that's, again, called pre-tabbing. The reason why you want to do that is the line of Precision Line is made out of wire. And because it's made out of wire, it can make it a little fragile when you initiate your pull. So by releasing it ahead of time, before you put the material down, you just eliminate that stress of it breaking once you have the material on. So again, good tips and tricks for that. And having a visor is really nice because now you can put it on the visor and rock and roll. So Marcos, cleaning it up, awesome.
I just cut a hole in the middle here, and with more material, I only try to make it in the right size.
Yeah.
Around here.
And this pre-cut piece really helps save time in terms of overstretching, especially with this type of material. And I'd like to come back to talking about Marcos. Again, Marcos is one of my favorite peeps in the industry. He's a great translator. I've been working with Marcos. How long have you been working together now? Like 7 or 8 years?
Yeah, something like that.
And again, Marcos is
So we always only heat up in the middle and we stretch back, and I stretch to the outside a little bit. Yeah. Okay, good. Go back, back, back. That looks perfect. And we work in stages here. This material loves a little bit of heat, not too much, so only a little bit, and warm it up gently. And we got it. Bam. Cool, I would say.
So coming back to Marcos, Marcos is a translator for a long time, and then Marcos' brother Gimas, awesome installer. He's a Rap Institute endorsed trainer down in Brazil. So if you ever need a workshop in Brazil, definitely check out Gimas' workshop.
Can you lift your head a little bit so we can get
Rainer. You can do anything you want. So Marcos has actually picked up a squeegee and then started becoming, a full-time installer. He's actually in Germany now for the last few months, wrapping cars, and he's become very, very, very good installer. Actually, he passed the Avery Dennison certification test, which is not an easy test in North America. So just shows that by watching a lot of videos and really kind of understanding wraps and by translating, my workshops and demos, picked up a lot of knowledge. And Marcos, would you say just like, watching a lot of videos and picking up the knowledge, it really sped up your learning process?
Oh, for sure. The process of wrapping. It's really important to be consistent. You can get this consistency by watching the videos and different objects being wrapped. It helps a lot.
Cool, cool. And just practice in hands-on time. And again, this is fun, wrapping a helmet. Super cool. How's it looking, guys?
Perfect.
I'm feeling good right now.
It's really like
super relaxing. It's almost like, I just got that haircut. They got the wrap cut going on. Trimming everything off. Again, super sharp blade, light touch when you cut directly on the surface. If you can use the knifeless tape, great. But again, you can see by knowing the different types of material and stretch, you can really wrap a helmet. And again, wrapping it in 3 pieces keeps the material from overstretching. So if they try to wrap it in 1 piece, it would definitely overstretch. Wrapping in 3 pieces neutralizes that tension. And if you think about it, the chrome strip that went on top, because they stretched black, that's where it might pull back. But by just doing 1 piece of chrome and didn't stretch it very much, that's actually holding the stretch from the side. So once they have everything down, again, the prep was obviously cleaning, lining up the knifeless tape. Right now, they're just finishing everything off. So what Marcos is doing is taking a microfiber towel and just cleaning up any residue. And sometimes with a precision line, you'll see a little bit of adhesive residue left behind. That's just the green tape, leaving that behind. So it's all about cleaning that off right now and just finishing it right so it's client ready. And what's nice about this particular one, if you wrap a car, you have to wait for the client to show up and pick up the car. But dude, I'm wearing the helmet. I am ready to rock and roll. So as soon as you say go, I'm jumping on that motorcycle. Super cool stuff. So I feel like you guys are close, but they're just taking time to finish it. You guys tell me when. Super cool. How's it going, guys? How are you feeling?
How are you feeling? How are you feeling?
I'm pretty good. So this is
It's awesome job.
So, like I said, so I would say time-wise, I think we're about ready to call it. What do you think?
Yeah.
You guys good? Okay, so whoever wants to win that roll of tech wrap, I'm going to hit the clock right there. Stop the clock in 16 minutes and 52 seconds. We got a super cool helmet. So, Marcos, thank you. Thank you. I picked up a lot of good tips and tricks for this one, and I'm going to spin around and check it out. Cool stuff. So now you know how to wrap a helmet, and if you pick at the right time, you just won that roll of film from Tech Wrap. So big thank you to Tech Wrap for sponsoring this round. Hope you enjoyed it, and definitely check out round number 9 next week. Thanks for watching. I'm Justin Pate.